Welcome to Dad Bod's Crab Cakes and Sports. You are live with Jason, Mike, and John. Thanks for joining us this evening, or again, if you are driving into work or just listening to us while you're doing stuff around the house. We appreciate all of our listeners. But again, thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we're going to talk some O's, some Ravens, and do a couple other fun little things here and there. Mike, how's everything going? What's been going on this week so far? Anything exciting?
Yeah, muy bueno in Espanol. Very, very well. I think soccer went well today. We had a little scrimmage. We won 3-0. Had a couple yellow cards. We got to rein in our aggressiveness hair, but overall good match tonight. And then school went back into for teachers this week, so in the dregs trying to get up every morning and haul my rear end in to sit in front of a computer and start planning lessons. But you know what? Some people have to go to work every day and don't have their summer off, so I'm not going to complain too much.
John, what about you and your shiny head?
Yeah, nothing. Not too much. Just trying to recoup from the 3 hour time difference, and then waking up at 5 a.m. and then being at work by 7:15, 7:30, and being there until 7 o'clock at night. So it's the end of the month, so we got to really close out the month and get a few deals so we can get Ford and Lincoln bonuses and stuff. So working hard.
Outstanding.
John, you look like you flew your own airplane home. That's kind of what you look kind of like you were a Southwest pilot right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that could have been me in a different lifetime. Could have been a pilot.
Very interesting. Outstanding.
If you believe in those
Well,
sorts of things.
so the biggest news of what's been going on in the sports world, I guess, is Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift getting engaged. That's the only thing I hear about in my house. Is all about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey being engaged. Let me tell you, it's like if, as the husband and the father, if I do not show any interest in this whatsoever, I am just massacred at all that could care less about these two getting engaged or whatever Taylor Swift's next concert is. But if I get excited and tell everyone what kind of steal I got in the fifth round of my fantasy draft, everyone looks at me like I got two heads.
It's a double
So
standard, Jason. It's a
the
double
double standard
standard.
of my life. Well, I'm very happy deep down for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey. I'm okay. I don't need to know the details, but it is quite the scene over here over the last few days, and everyone is in a tizzy. It's very excited for them. I don't think we're getting any invitations to the wedding, but I could be surprised. I never know.
We
So, but
we have had
I think
zero conversations about that topic in my house. Zero.
good for you. I'm very happy for you. I'm very jealous, envious of you, actually. Very. All right. Well, other than that, that's about it. Nothing too exciting going on over here. Tomorrow night we have our first ever draft for our listener league for fantasy football. So are you guys prepared? Are you ready? John, are you pumped? Do you know what
I am.
you're doing at
I
the
am
fourth pick?
absolutely. I do. Oh, the one thing I forgot to tell you guys, and this is a huge disappointment. My softball team got canceled because nobody paid. Like four people did. Four people paid, and then nobody else did. So the girl who was like organizing it had sent out a reminder like every day for the last 2 weeks that you need to pay your $40. It's not even like a lot of money. It's $40. And you had to pay your $40. But so we got a refund on that. We're not playing. But our jerseys already were ordered. So the money I paid for the jersey is already out. So I'm getting a jersey for a team that I'm not even playing on. And I don't know how this is all going to work.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is this one of these leagues where you pay the league or you pay the team captain?
You pay the team captain.
Oh, see,
And then the
that's your
team
first
cap
mistake.
then the team captain pays for the whole league.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if I would have done that, if I would have canceled the league, Mike, we would never have played softball all of those years that I ran softball teams because
He's got to
people
front the
never
money,
paid
buddy. The
me
team
on
captain's
time.
got to front the money, right, Jason? That's not
No
usually what
Right.
kidding. If you want to
Right.
play softball that bad, you have to front the money. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
That's
I
crazy.
forgot
Well,
that was my big announcement. I remembered that because I got a notification on my watch of. So I was like, any teams need a player, and you know, any teams want because like Tuesday night's the only night I have free to play.
yeah.
You know, and so I'm very very ticked off.
You can
Oh,
wear the
man.
jersey for the show. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Outstanding. I
Yeah.
threw all my softball jerseys away a couple years ago before we moved here, but I had like a dozen of them over the years, and they're talking about getting jerseys now. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't need to wear a jersey, but if you want, sure, I'll play ball. I saw you guys have pretty little jerseys that y'all wear, Mike. That's cute. You haven't learned from me over the years that jerseys are just like it's always the teams that don't wear jerseys that are the best, by the way.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. We got our sponsor. We had to pimp our sponsor, Miller's Ale House, so we get our
Oh.
free 2 pitchers and our mozzarella sticks every weekend. So
Do they cover the whole league?
they cover the league fee and they covered the sorry the dues and the shirts and the hats.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so the material they make the softball stuff out of, and you wore it for elite. You used to play tournament ball a lot and that kind of stuff. Hats are nice, but like if you sweat in that stuff, it takes about I don't know 3 games, and then I can't wear it to do anything else.
Hmm. Is it the same stuff we had for like the high tops jerseys and stuff?
No, because the high top stuff was like that stretchy material.
And it was like dry the Under Armour stuff.
Yeah, the
Like, yeah.
sublimated like Under Armour stuff. This stuff
Mhm.
is like it's mesh almost. It's not like think old 80s lacrosse jersey mesh. It's nice
Oh.
mesh, but it's like it definitely does not mask the smell after you sweat in it.
Oh. Well, good thing you guys don't play in the summer or anything up there.
Well, that's why I don't sweat. My range is about 2 steps to my left, 2 steps to my right, and then I try to get down low enough to feel the ground ball once in a while.
Dude, it doesn't matter if I'm moving or not. I'm still going to sweat. Like I'm a 200-pound human. Like it's going to happen regardless. Oh, well, that John, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I'll tell you, the people on my team they play every night of the week. They're like me when I was younger. Like somebody just was celebrating their birthday today. They're like 30. They're like, hey, happy 30th. I'm like 30th. Holy
What?
crap.
Oh my
That
God.
was 13 years ago. Oh,
Well, I have to cancel my FanDuel bet. I had the under on win total for John's softball team, so I have to go and see if they did that already, or I have to go in and make sure I cancel it.
oh no. Did you say you had the under?
I did.
Oh, that's great. I wanted to take the bet I placed was whether or not John was going to make it through half a season or not. Injury riddled.
Yeah, that was a good bet. I don't know if my knees would have held up at shortstop for that long.
I'm thinking hamstrings. Once you get around this age, you think you're running free, and all of a sudden something jumps up, bites you in the butt.
Sniper.
Literally.
Huh.
Oh my! All right. Well, I thought we'd lead it off today with the Ravens, and I guess real big news this afternoon was Kyle Hamilton's extension that he signed with the Ravens. They inked him to 4 years at over $100 million. I know that was one of the pieces we were looking to fall, Mike. I guess along with Linderbaum. Actually, I'm not as confident that one's going to happen soon, but for them to go ahead and get this taken care of, I know it's a big weight off of everyone's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming. We've been talking about it for a long time. There's no way that Kyle Hamilton was walking out of the castle, without a deal and playing here for the next at least 4 or 5 years. But kudos to the Ravens to get the job done. 82 million guaranteed. The previous record for his safety was 45 million. Like he just destroyed that deal. And I think he's well worth it. He's a defensive player of the year candidate, probably, year in and year out in this league, and you don't have that caliber player walk through your doors very often. So I'm glad the Ravens got the job done. I'm just curious, and maybe you guys can add some insight. Like, what does that do for the Ravens as far as flexibility with money and maybe with the current roster or future roster? I know Lamar's contract jumps, huge next year. But what do you guys think, that this does for the Ravens moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gives them more flexibility to do essentially whatever they want to do with their current guys that they have as far as extending, or if they want to go out and do a couple other things. Because if you remember, like getting rid of, I believe you could have money coming off the books with Andrews, if they decide to part ways with him. There's also a couple other ways they could save money. But the Lamar thing, I don't want to say it's looming large because I don't think they're ever going to let it get that far. I think it'll get taken care of just like it did last time. But no, what I think it does, Mike, it does a couple things. Obviously, there's never a doubt that they want to sign their homegrown players. Linderbaum's definitely paying attention to it because I would assume he'd be the next one up. But if they don't feel like they can sign him, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, flexibility seems to be the key. I don't know about what you think, John.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it is the flexibility, and when you have the top rated safety since 2022 in the NFL, you're going to got to do what you got to do to lock him up. And I was reading, was it on savethecap.com or something? So it was one of the cap sites. They're saying that these numbers the next few years are just going to be, they're just going to go up dramatically. So, they're going to have room for Lamar. They're going to have room for, likely they're going to have room for these guys, assuming the cap goes up how they're saying it's going to. So I'm not worried, but I'm just glad they got it done now. It's not going to hang over his head for the season. And I agree. I don't think Linderbaum is going to sign until probably the off season. But this is a great step forward. And it shows you, again, like we always talk about, the Ravens know what they're doing. The Orioles do not. Just kind of how things roll.
I don't know, John. That's a blanket statement. Or do the Orioles know what they're doing? They just, dude, what if they would have decided to, like, we're going off the Orioles, but I'm just going to say, what if they decide to sign the wrong guy? They've done it before. They signed Trey Mancini. They let Christian Walker go. Who's had the better major league career? Like, that's happened.
Jake
Arrieta. Like, guys, like, I wouldn't say that they do the wrong thing. I'm okay with a cautious approach as long as they start doing things, and the Basayo thing was a good start. But we'll get to that. So,
Jason, real quick on that. Like, just want to talk about Linderbaum. I think the rumor is he wants $20 million a year. Like,
okay,
that I think the highest paid center right now is Creed Humphrey, and I think he makes in the neighborhood of $18 million a year. So it sounds like Linderbaum wants to be the highest paid center in the league. I think if you ask for consensus around the NFL, they say that Creed Humphrey is a little bit better than Tyler Linderbaum. So I'm sure they're going back and forth over there. I know that they don't want to do a franchise tag with him because I think that's beyond that. And because remember, we talked about that in past episodes where he's getting paid almost tackle money to pay center, and you just can't do that. So I'm sure that it's going to take a little while to get that banged out if they're going to be a little bit apart on that. But he's good. He's not great. We could live without him if we needed to. If that was a sacrifice we had to make, and we had to get a bunch of other players like a Likely Dunn, and you have Hamilton here, and maybe Malachi Starks is a stud, and you have these other young guys that got to pay. Someone's got to walk once in a while, and you can't pay everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I know they hate having their homegrown guys walk, but to be honest with you, Mike, I mean, I would agree 100% that it's you can find centers in certain different ways. I mean, he's good. He's the second best center in football. I would agree that Humphreys is a better center. And and Kevin Oestreicher says the same thing, that when this came up, that he doesn't think he's better than Humphreys and that he shouldn't get paid more. The one thing I will say is, as this continues to go on, inflation can take over at some point. And it's like, if you remember, like when Flacco signed his deal as a quarterback, he was the highest paid player in the NFL. Should never have ever happened. Then the next guy that signed was that highest paid player in the NFL, and so on and so on and so on. So that could also be the case at some point. But yeah, I mean that's not one that I'm losing any sleep over really, because I do think they could fix that at some point. But they also to pivot off of that, they finalized their roster. They also signed practice squad guys today. I don't know if you guys heard they brought in Tyler Huntley on the practice squad, which was one of my predictions. I think you guys, John, also said that as well. So, I mean, yeah, Kevin said something. I know we talk about these guys, but they know what they're talking about. And Kevin Ostrager from Locked On Ravens said that he thinks that the Ravens put together the perfect roster. Maybe not like the best roster all time in the NFL, but the perfect roster for the Ravens and what they're trying to accomplish this year, as far as balance and depth and starters and bench. They really were able to, and they got those undrafted guys in. And I know Justin Armour Davis, he got cut, and then I believe he caught on with Tennessee.
Correct.
So you lose guys like that, John, but you're also, the Ravens always do a really good job of bringing in guys that no one's heard of, and then they end up having pretty good NFL careers.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see them missing Armour Davis whatsoever in the way that I've seen a lot of these guys playing, in the preseason and getting. I mean, not that he's 26, I think. He's not. I think he's 26, but getting those little bit younger guys in there, and he. I saw a couple of people who are like, "What are the Ravens doing?" Blah, blah. And I'm like, "They know what they're doing. They always know what they're doing." And I think we called it. I think we called it on Sunday, didn't we, Mike? That we were going to keep Higgins.
Right.
Yes,
that was the prediction.
I think we did. I think we called I think we called most of these, and I don't think there's any real big surprises on anything on here. But I would agree with Ostrager that this is probably one of the best constructed Ravens teams of all time.
Yeah, and I think Jalen Armour Davis, he's a fourth-year player. It's almost like I relate it to high school when you have a senior player and a junior player, and you got an up-and-coming junior player who's at least similar to that player, and they've got guys that I think perform just as well as he did, and they have younger age and contracts, which makes it a lot easier to keep those guys than Jalen Armour Davis, who might have 1 year left. And so I think also Armour Davis is more of an outside cornerback, and the way that Keon Martin fits is more of a backup nickel, which I think is more what they need based on what they have with the other guys on their roster. So that's why they made that move. Bo Braid was interesting. Obviously, he's a Maryland guy. He called on, I think, with the Giants. Is that right, Jason? I know he went somewhere as well.
There were Tennessee, I think, got two of the guys.
They got Ravenel and
Davis. That's right.
And I think the Giants got Bo Braid. But again, the positional versatility with Lowry, where he can play corner and safety, I think helped him gain that spot, because you know how much the Ravens are going to be moving their pieces around, especially with Malachi Starks back there and Kyle Hamilton back there. To have a guy who can do both fits their mold a lot better. And I think that's where Lowry beat out Braid in the end.
It's funny because not a lot of teams are able to, that are going to compete for a Super Bowl year in and year out, have the ability to give these guys the opportunity to step right in and fill huge roles. The Ravens are a unique situation here, Mike, and each year they sell it to these guys, even the rookies that they draft, that they're unable to draft, and then they sign after the fact. I mean, these guys want to come here, not just because they want to win a Super Bowl, but that because they know they're going to be given an opportunity, and not every organization out there can say that.
Yeah, and I think what they do is they bring in these guys who have fire in their bellies, right? And they come in, they try to bring the overall energy level up in the entire training camp, and it makes everybody compete for their spot. So if you're not competing for your spot in these other training camps because they're not bringing these guys in, you're not seeing the same level of play. Not only does it make those guys have a real opportunity to make the team, but it makes your whole group better in general because you're bringing up the entire level of the team.
Yeah, and John, was there anyone that surprised you that either made or did not make the team?
Not really. Like as I was looking through this, you know, I I thought, that they've basically everybody who I talked about on Sunday who I thought was going to make the team is on the team in some way, shape, or form. And I'm at peace with the way that things are going, assuming we avoid the all important injury bug. I think everything is basically the way that I thought it was going to be constructed. And now seeing, having Huntley on the practice squad, that I think plays a role, as well if something would happen to Lamar.
Right. And Mike, what about you? Was there anything, like, you guys don't seem too shocked about anything? And I know that Kevin had mentioned, and he sold his podcast as this big shock of who didn't make the roster, and I was like, oh, well, who didn't make the roster? Like, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot about Armour Davis. So I don't mean to discount it, but I'm like, like a backup corner didn't make the team, but he made the team the other years, but he was also injured. So nothing. I guess I don't know. Jenkins, Ajabo, sure. No, I mean, nothing really surprised me.
Yeah, agreed. Ajaba making the roster maybe, but I thought they might bring in somebody to replace him, like we talked about last episode, like a veteran. And I don't think that's still out of the realm of possibility. But maybe they wait till a couple weeks into the season to see if he really has an opportunity to flourish. And if he doesn't, then they bring that guy in. Those guys love to wait in the wings and not have to do anything like on the field physically and just kind of work it out in the gym until they get their phone rings, right? So I think that's probably still a possibility. Maybe Brett Urban not making the team, but you know what? Like, they bring him in every year, and sometime down the line, he'll probably be on the roster later on the season. That he's on the practice squad. So, they brought a lot of these guys back to the practice squad, Jason. Only the few names that you mentioned really, honestly, didn't make it back, or someone they didn't want back. And I love the Tyler Huntley move. I think we saw what Devin Leary was. He got cut, and they didn't ask him onto the practice squad. And Tyler Huntley's familiar with the team. I feel a lot better with him behind center if that situation happens than I do with Devin Leary. At that point, anyway, we're playing for draft order anyway.
Yeah, my goodness. Oh, please. Ugh. Shocked we made it through training camp without any disasters. But yeah, so does anything, I guess I should ask you guys, I was going to save this for Kevin. We did try to get Kevin on tonight, but his schedule didn't match up with ours. And I also asked him very last minute because we had a back out of another guest. But does anything change anything for you guys through all this preseason, through all the roster shape up? I can start with you, John. Does anything change as far as your prediction? What is your prediction for the Ravens this year, win-wise?
I believe they're going to be at least a 13-win team. I don't see, and looking at their schedule, I don't see any reason that we're not at least a 13, maybe even a 14-win team. It seems year after year we start slow, and if we start slow, maybe we start the season out 2-4, 1-3, something like that. But I just don't see us winning less than 13 games. I think if we can get hot and stay hot, it's Super Bowl or bust. And I've seen that on almost every Ravens thing that I've read and looked at and all over everywhere. They're like, this team is constructed to win the Super Bowl. And if they don't win the Super Bowl, anything less is going to be a disappointment.
Well, and Mike, before I get your win prediction, you've been the one that keeps saying there's only one team that gets to lift the trophy at the end of the year. But based on all the expectations and based on the last few years, is this Super Bowl or bust for you?
Well, I think there has to be at least progression. That means you have to get to the Super Bowl. If they don't get to the Super Bowl, it's a failure. And also, with that being said, John, if they go 2-4 to start the year, that means they have to go 11-0 to finish with your win prediction total. I don't see that happening necessarily. My thought process behind this team, even good teams lose games, first of all. Even good teams will lose a game once. And our strength of schedule, our schedule is not easy, especially early on in the season. So, as I went, game by game through the schedule, I think they'll lose either their Bills or Chiefs. I don't think they'll lose both those games, but I think they're going to Buffalo and to Kansas City. To come out expecting to win both those games on the road, I'm not saying it's not possible, but don't think it should necessarily be an expectation, first of all. Detroit is really good coming in here. I think that's a tough game. I think that's a possibility of a loss if you're looking at our home schedule. And then the divisional games always scare me. So going on the road to Pittsburgh and going on the road to Cincinnati are two games that worry me. And then they tend to lay an egg somewhere where they shouldn't, somewhere in the schedule. So if you're looking at a pattern of what they're usually doing, I'm looking at 12-5 right now. But they still could win the division with 12-5, even though some of the other teams like the Steelers have a little bit easier schedule. But I see them losing maybe at Buffalo, the Lions, at Bengals, maybe at the Packers, and at the Steelers. Those would be the 5 losses I see right now as I go through their schedule.
So I almost agree with you. I'm as far as the win total, I predicted 13 weeks ago, and then we did it again. I still predicted. You asked me what the floor and ceiling was, and I thought the ceiling was 14. But I also said that I thought the ceiling for them was, what did I say, 12 or 11? Well, pardon me, their floor. So yeah, I mean,
it was high.
I'm gonna say 13. I really am. But when it comes down to the losses there, I would agree that, I mean, I think they get one they lose one at Pittsburgh, they lose one at Cincinnati. Either Buffalo or Kansas City, flip a coin, and I don't know. I mean, the Lions don't scare me for whatever reason. When they come here, we've played them a couple times. I mean, we blew them out a couple years ago when they made it to the NFC Championship game. Like, it's just, there's a kink in their armor somewhere. And I think with their new offensive coordinator, that it's going to take them a little bit of time to ramp up, or if they even will ramp up. So, but I'm a huge Dan Campbell fan, just for the record, to everyone. One of my favorite coaches out there. But no, I personally think it'll be 13. And I do think it's Super Bowl or bust, because I think it has to be. I don't want it to be. Like, I'm not going to, like, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year or make the Super Bowl, I mean, it'll suck, but it's okay. The sun will come up, and I really hope. I do think that if they don't make the Super Bowl, I think there's people will be clamoring for Harbaugh's head, and I think that's the wrong move. Like, but again, I've been saying that for a long time. The last thing I said a couple weeks ago about the team is, when we lose playoff games, we usually do something really big that's dumb that hurts us. And I always wait for something to go wrong. And I really just want that feeling to go away. Like when we won in Ray Lewis's last year, it's just, I was waiting for something to go wrong against Peyton, and it didn't. And then I was waiting for something to go wrong against Brady, and it didn't. And I was at the Super Bowl and the lights went out, and I said, the only thing that could beat this team could be this team. And oh crap, there goes the lights. Right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm excited. I think they didn't have any, as long as Lamar, there's nothing there injury wise, which I don't think there is, then, I mean, hopefully it's smooth sailing for a while. I'm excited to see how they do against Buffalo. I know that they'll want to start the season off pretty strong, but John, like, to kind of say what Mike was saying, this isn't the year that they can go 2-4. Their roster is, I mean, their schedule is tough. And if they can navigate these first 4 or 5 games, they'll be in really good shape. I'm not worried about Cleveland, obviously, but Buffalo might be tough. The good news is they do get Kansas City, as Rashee Rice settled with a 6-game suspension. So he'll be out the first 6 games, so they won't have to deal with him. Are there any other teams that made it through this preseason that you are looking at as far as being a Super Bowl contender that you might not have thought about before the preseason?
Oh, that's a really good question. Um, hmm,
Or did anything get affirmed for you that you were kind of thinking about and you're like, yep, they're as good as I thought?
yeah. I don't watch a ton of preseason football other than the Ravens because, like we said, it sucks. Uh, so whether or not it's affirmed my belief or not wasn't based on what I saw in preseason. It would just be off of what I think their roster is made of and whether I think they have what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl. If you're looking for a surprise team, that might maybe kind of be out of left field a little bit. Um, you know, maybe I think the Packers are good. I really do. I think Jordan Love's set up for success. They have a running game with a couple backs that are pretty good. They have wide receivers around him. Golden looks to be the real deal up there. They're excited about him. So I wouldn't be surprised if an NFC team made some waves. Maybe Green Bay is that team. I like the Rams a little bit, but I just think that depends on Matthew Stafford's health. So we'll see what that looks like as the season plays out.
And John, what about you? Is there anybody out there that you had thought differently about previously?
Not really, because I mean there weren't that many huge injuries out there. Because usually that's kind of the thing in the preseason is which team keeps their entire preseason roster intact without any major injuries. And I don't think there was a ton of, if any, like huge. There wasn't like an Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles or a non-contact injury from any real like huge names that's going to affect a lot of the teams. So that really makes a huge difference in the way that you're looking at the season, because right now, basically, July 15th, most of these teams are basically the same thing that we thought July 15th, and now it's the end of training camp, August 27th.
I'll tell you one that I'm starting to come around on that I actually think could be a very good sleeper. I think they actually win the division from the Chiefs this year. I think Denver is a very sneaky, confident team. And everything they did last year puts them in a really good spot. I also think that the other hardball might have something up his sleeve. I know they lost their left tackle. That sucks. And that could change a lot of what they want to do. So that's something to keep an eye on. NFC wise, I, you know, I pounded the desk that I thought the Redskins, but I am coming off that one a little bit. I also like the Rams. I mean, I want to like the Bucks, but I think the Bucks take a step back. So I mean, I guess the Eagles.
Who are these Redskins? Are you talking about potatoes?
I know. I do it all the time. It's
Are those
not
like
fair.
the potatoes that have the delicious outside on them?
Stupid. Yes. Well, what are their names? The Commanders. Oh God, that's such a. I'm old.
Dumb.
I'm old. Okay. Last question about, and then we'll move on. Super Bowl predictions. Did it change, Mike? What has your prediction changed?
Did we already do that already?
We're doing it again because this is it.
I don't
End of
remember
training
what I
camp.
said. What did I say? Do you even remember?
Eagles and Ravens.
No, I like that. Let's keep it.
John?
I
Hi,
am
John.
going to change mine.
Oh, good.
I think that it's going to be the Ravens and the Lions.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I like
this.
Detroit.
I feel like we should just shut the podcast off right now because we did this with the Orioles and we cursed them to damnation. And it was a terrible, terrible time all year.
They just took the lead, though, Jason. They just took the lead.
Perfect. I love it. It's like
they're going to win their 61st game of the year right now. Let's do it.
Outstanding. All right. I'm going to say the Ravens because I think this is the year they get over the hump. I don't know. I want to say the Eagles, but I feel like that's too chalky, Mike. I was going to say the Commanders, but I'm not convinced anymore. Watch that one bite me. I'm going to say the San Francisco 49ers surprise everybody. I like the Fighting Shanahannians, if you will.
Tell me why, Jason. Tell me why you think that's because I think I like Brock Purdy. I think he's a underrated quarterback. I think he's very good. I have him in Dynasty. and I think
Mhm.
he's probably when healthy, he's a top 10 dynasty quarterback, and he's a really good quarterback, especially being the last pick in the draft. But what worries me, and they have Christian McCaffrey and they have Garendo. I worry about they took a step back at receiver, letting go of Debo Samuel maybe, and I know that Brandon Ayuk, he's not healthy, right? Correct, but he's supposed to
Yep.
be into the season, so I just worry about their receiving core. You must be big on Ricky Pearsall or what they have behind him.
So I'm big on Pearsall. I'm also very, very big on Kittle. And then somebody else is going to have to step up. But I also think that McCaffrey is going to have a huge bounce back year. Now, obviously, at any point, something could happen and he could go down. But if he doesn't, I mean, I'm thinking you're looking at the 49ers from a couple years ago, and the NFC isn't unbeatable. It can be navigated through. So they have Robert Saleh back as the defensive coordinator. I wouldn't overlook that either, because everyone's saying that their defense is going to take a step back. I mean, they were the best out at their best when he was there. So I mean, he might be able to fix a couple things there for them. Again, this is definitely going out there a little bit. They could very easily miss out on the playoffs again. But just going over in my head some other opportunities for teams out there. I mean, I like Carolina to win a couple extra games this year. I don't have them going to the Super Bowl, but I do think Tampa takes a step back. Like that's what you got on there. Who's that feller? What you doing, Mike?
Guess the man.
I can't see. I'm blind. Is that Ben McDonald? Who is
It's Dylan Bundy.
Dylan Bundy? Oh, I can't see. He does look
I
like
have
Ben
Dylan
McDonald.
Bundy on my cup for those of you guys at home who are not watching but listening.
Oh man. All right. So that'll be our predictions. Mike, you're going with the Eagles and the Ravens. John, you're going with the Ravens and the Lions, and I'm going with the Ravens and the 49ers. We'll see how that all goes. We'll talk to you in a few months. But all right, so that brings us to the Orioles segment. Let's see in Birdland. We started off the week. We are 0-2 so far. I said we would go 5-2. So I have some work left to do as we have to win all of the rest of the games. But Mike, you gave us an update. We're currently winning.
Good news. Ronci Contreras came in after Dietrich Enns was the old opener tonight, and we scored a second run because our offense is exploding with a Dylan Carlson double. And my man who's on all fours, Mr. Beavers, he scored again, so that's good.
Oh, that's good. Your man's. I'm glad to hear. And
damn Beavers.
Yeah. What else? There's something else I want to talk about with the Orioles, but I don't really have a whole lot. Other than like we talked about the Messiah contract last time, how huge that was.
How about Kyle Bradish?
Oh boy. So talk about not like missing a step. Oh, would you have 10 strikeouts last night? Looked real good. Yeah. I mean, hopefully they take care of that and they baby the crap out of him the best they can and get him ready for next year. Yeah, I mean, him and Rogers in the same rotation look good right now.
So Jason, let me ask you a question just off the cuff here. If you were to number Bradish and Rogers in your rotation next year, 1 through 5, with whoever else you choose to put into that rotation, or what do you do it how you would do it and how you think the Orioles are going to do it? Where do they fall? Are they your number 1 and 2? Are they your 2 and 3? Are they your 3 and 4? Where would they fit in your rotation?
As of right now, if they don't make any other moves, oh God, if they don't make any other moves, God help me if they don't make any other moves. Bradish 1, Rogers 2. Bradish has earned that. And I think it would be a good for him to pitch opening day would be very good for this organization. And I'm hoping they bring in a couple other guys to help him out. What about you? What are you thinking, Mike?
In an ideal world, they're your number 2 and 3 starters, and you bring in a stud to be your number 1 starter, and that would be Framber. I like my man Framber.
Okay.
But I'm sure you could probably say he's probably an ace, yeah? Would he be? Would you start him over Rogers, or would you start him over Bradish?
I mean, I guess at this point we're just like, I don't know, we're
Splitting
grasping at
hairs.
straws. Yeah,
Yeah.
splitting hairs because Bradish was a top 5 Cy Young candidate. I don't know where Framber was in there. Maybe he was too, but I think Bradish. If you compare their numbers, I'm pretty sure they're pretty similar. But I think ERA wise, Bradish might be ahead of him. But I
Framber
don't
has a
know.
little bit longer track record, probably, I would say.
But if he's your target, that gives you 2 lefties in your rotation, which would be pretty good. Then you could bring Eflin back if he's healthy as a 3, or I'd say even a 4, because then if you could get like a Woodruff in, holy crap, that just changes everything. And it's not like anybody else is missing out on a rotation spot at that point, because you could give another full year of Brandon Young down in the minors, or maybe put him in the bullpen. Povich is your 5. Then maybe Kramer goes to your 4 if one of those other guys you don't sign Eflin back because his health is off or something. But I guess what I'm getting at, and John, you can then go, but like if Eflin and Kramer are your 4 and 5 guys, holy crap, does that look a lot better?
Yeah, I think so. After seeing the highlights and things from last night from Bradish, and if we can get everybody else healthy and on the mend and getting everybody back, and then we haven't even said Grayson Rodriguez yet. If he gets healthy and gains form, so you're actually we've been talking about grabbing starting pitching, getting starting pitching. We may not need to do that. It may be a matter of going and getting another kind of solid couple bullpen arms and a couple veteran bats. But like you always say, Jason, you need that depth in starting pitching. But it's all going to come down to the injury thing. Can these guys stay healthy?
Listen, there signed Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Ryan and whoever else is Jim Palmer can come out of retirement. Like, calm down with your mediocre moves. We're trying to swing for the fences here. They have to operate and go into next year like Grayson Rodriguez is not pitching for this team. And if they bring someone else in and Grayson then is competing with him because he's healthy, then you can look to trade Grayson, or you can look to move somebody else. I think you bring in potential 7 guys to vie for the 5 spots. I'm not saying bring in 7 guys, but have 7 guys going for that 5 and make it a competition. Don't just say, well, I guess Povich is going to make it as our 5th starter. And if that's the mentality, well, shame on us, because it's going to lead us right back to where we are. And I don't mean to, I'm just poking fun at you, John, but it's like, I don't want mediocre anymore.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen, because I know that's what's going to happen according to what we've done in the past, right?
Right.
So like these guys are heating up. Oh man, we got our number 1 and 2. So let's just add someone on the back end, some random Joe Schmo. Let's just get another number 4 starter, and we'll put the newest Tomo Sagano, and he'll be in the back end. And no, if you go out there now, you have these 2 solid pitchers. You have one that's at least as good as they are. Look how much better this rotation looks. Mike Elias cannot have another losing season. He can't. He won't have a job. So he needs to go into this offseason understanding that if he even has a chance to have a losing season because he makes these mediocre moves, he's putting his own job at risk. So I think he's got to at least get one pitcher that's at least the caliber of one of those 2 guys. And that makes the whole rotation look so much better. And then, like we said, we're clamoring for a real bat, but we'll see if that happens. But at least a stud pitcher, at least the caliber of either a Rogers or a Bradish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying. Like, I mean, I'm saying 2 bats, 2 pitchers, or 1 bat, 2 pitcher. Like, if you're not going to move the pitching around, like, I mean, I'm saying if you can extend Rogers, make sure Bradish is healthy. Again, the whole Grayson thing, we're just assuming he's going to be all right. I mean, we can't do that at this point. So contingency plan, and the contingency plan is not Brandon Young yet, right? Like, let's go get somebody. Like, you're trying to win a World Series, and this front office, I actually have faith that. And the only reason I do have this faith is because I do think they want to operate in Major League Baseball. So if this front office doesn't make these necessary changes, they won't be around next year. or the year after. They will lose their jobs, and they might be halfway during the season because they will be given all the opportunities to fix what they have wronged. So whether they did it intentionally, you just cannot be cheap. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The teams that compete year in and year out to win a World Series are always in the top half of payroll. You have to get in the top half of payroll with the right moves. Don't just go spend a bunch of money on $13 million for 1 year, $14 million. Go compete with these big organizations and get the right guys that you have targeted are the right fit for you. That's my rant, at least.
Well, that's good, Jason. I love it. And I think maybe you guys heard the news about after Samuel Basallo signed, Gunnar Henderson had some comments in relationship to whether or not he would sign. What would it take for him to sign back into Baltimore? And he spoke mainly to winning. Winning was what he wants to do. He's a winner. He doesn't like losing. And do you guys think that he was sending a message to the Orioles organization, or do you think he was just answering the question honestly, or both?
I think it's both. Because I mean, you get a stud player like Gunnar Henderson, who, when he goes into free agency, he's going to be commanding top of the market. Assuming let's go. I mean, we're assuming he doesn't get injured, that he's going to play the full season. He's going to get his spring training, and he's going to get all these, and we're going to get all-star MVP caliber Gunnar Henderson back. But he's telling the Orioles, you know what, guys, if you don't get your butts in gear, I have one of the best agents of all time who's going to get me the most money somewhere else. And the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the list goes on, are willing to pay him, and they're going to pay what it's going to take to win. And like you just said, the World Series winners are always in the top half of payroll, and they're going to be willing to shell money out for a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, look what the Rangers did a few years ago. They spent $500 million to bring in Seager and Simeon, and they're both shortstops. And then they figured it out, and they put one at second, one at short, and they won a World Series the year after. That's the kind, and then they signed DeGrom. Like those are the type of moves you need to make if you're trying to win a World Series. But like, let's not forget, like, I will give the man and the organization credit for building up the farm system and doing it this way. But now it's time to supplement that by going and getting your other pieces to help them out. Because what I think Gunnar's saying, Mike, is he is being honest because he's a kid and he's an honest person. You can tell it in all of his interviews and how he is and his interactions and his love for Legos and having fun and his teammates. I think he's saying, well, we're here to win. I don't want to be an organization that's rebuilding. So I'll let you know once you guys start going in that direction. The funny thing is, though, he's done nothing but win since he's got here, except for this season. And there's lots of organizations that do this. Like the Yankees did it. They took a step back. They traded their guys. And they were right back in the ALCS the next year. Chicago did it last year. They're right. The Cubs, they're right back in the thick of things. So it's like you can do it from just 1 year, and you can rebuild in 1 year. So they just have to make the right moves. Enough of this pussyfooting around and making these money-friendly deals. Go out and let everyone know you're trying to win by getting the right pieces in here.
I mean,
and that is the Jason.
That's great. I mean, I think about the Orioles of Jason, and you grew up in the same era that I grew up in, and that was Cal Ripken, and in the '90s it was Cal Ripken and whoever. It was Cal Ripken and Leo Gomez and Larry Sheets and Joe Orsolak, and yeah, they'd compete and they'd be all right, and they have some good players, but nobody. But then they went out and they got Roberto Alomar, and they got B.J. Surhoff, and they got Charles Johnson, and they got Rafael Palmeiro, and now they got pitching with Jimmy Key, and they got David Wells, and they got guys that were real
Kevin Brown,
veteran
Randy Myers.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it takes to get to the next level. I know that was, I don't even know how many years. What was that? 30 years ago? Good God. But that is what I remember. And it still holds true to some extent today. You still need veteran players that have done it before to bring the team to the next level. So hopefully this Orioles team in 2026 can do that.
Yeah, I do. I have the confidence that they are going to try to fix it. But if they can't fix it because they're getting outbid, they have to look in the mirror here because they're not. You're going to have to overpay for some guys, but that's okay. Again, the Rangers had to do it to get the people into their organization. You have to start somewhere. So you have some good pieces here. Yes, we want to all extend them, but you want to make them look better. Bring in some people to help them. Bring in Pete Alonso. Bring in Kyle Tucker. Bring in these guys. Oh, by the way, Kyle Tucker's not going to be as expensive as everybody thought he was going to be, because he's not, like, he's starting to fall off a little bit this year. Again, pounce on that. Take advantage.
He's tuckered out.
Right, there you go. That's a good one, Mike. Fantastic. All right. Well, we have plenty of time to talk O's and hear me rant and complain and yell and scream and all of that. But we are going to move on to our ballpark figures. And it will be me hosting for the very first time ever in this game's infancy. Let's see. I don't know, Mike, why don't you tell everyone how you came up with this idea in case they're joining us for the first time?
I just had this miraculous eureka moment in which I thought it would be really fun to try to figure out the top 10 of different categories in relationship to sports. And if two of our genius minds could kind of come together with 3 strikes only allowed and figure out who comprised this list to see if we have any real knowledge of sports.
Fantastic, Mike. Well done. All right. So John and Mike, you are going to be teammates. Good luck, Mike.
Jason, I saved your sorry ass on Sunday with sports movies.
Blind
Did you go watch the bench
warmers?
warmers?
What happened?
Did you go
no,
watch the
I'm
bench
not
warmers?
watching the bench warmers. Come on, John. I don't have time for television over here. All right. So your guys' category, the top 10 winningest coaches in NFL history, regular season and playoffs.
Bill Belichick.
All right. No, you guys wouldn't need to talk about it. Bill Belichick is number 2.
Andy Reid.
Correct. He is number 4.
John, we can discuss it too. You don't have to.
No, that would be my guess. I would think like let's see.
What about
George Hallis?
Yep, correct. George Hallis is number 3. So you have number 2, 3, and 4.
Is Cowher or Tomlin on this list, do you think?
Possibly.
Oh, Tom Landry. Tom Landry from the Cowboys.
Yeah, I like Landry.
That's number 5. So
how about the Packers guy from back in the day?
Lambo or Lombardi?
I was thinking Lombardi. But
okay. Yeah, go with
now,
Lombardi.
are we going all the way back, like forever in the history of NFL?
Yes, as long as the NFL has been a league.
Lombardi, I would say Lombardi.
I would say you're incorrect. Strike 1.
You think Chuck Knowles on this list?
That's a good possibility. He did win, but he had a lot of Super Bowls.
Remember, the Steelers have only had 3 coaches.
Yeah,
since like 1960. So I'm assuming either one of or all 3 of them are on this list.
But you got to also remember that we're talking regular season wins too, and sometimes the team that wins the Super Bowl doesn't always go crazy in the regular season. How about
he was there in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Jason, are we talking win percentage or total wins?
Total wins, my friend.
So
just give you a heads up. Bill Belichick, 333. George Hallis, 324. Andy Reid, 301. Tom Landry, 270. That's the only ones you have so far.
So longevity plays a role too there, John. So if Tomlin, how many years is he in? Almost 20?
Yeah.
He's probably averaged about 10 to 11 wins a year, maybe.
You think Harbaugh's on this list? Like at 9 or 10?
He's a possibility because of his longevity again. I think that plays a major role.
Right. I seriously think Chuck Knowles on this list.
Go for it.
Because he was there for almost 30 years.
Chuck Noll is on the list at number 8.
Awesome. How many wins, Jason?
209.
Oh, okay. so we can get anybody.
What about Big Tuna?
Parcells?
Yeah. Is he coaching
No.
enough?
He is not.
that's-
Wait,
he-
is that a guess?
hold on.
No.
We're
I'm
discussing.
talking.
He Giants stint. He had that Patriots stint.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's been around long enough.
He wasn't around a ton. Like that's what I was thinking. Jimmy Johnson, but he wasn't around that
He
long.
wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't around that long. Oh, what about Bill Walsh?
Yeah, I like that one.
Bill Walsh.
That's your guess?
Yes, it's the final answer.
Oh, Phooey.
Oh.
2 strikes, ladies.
Oh, what about Holmgren? Was Holmgren around long enough?
Mike
I don't-
Holmgren?
I'd rather do Tomlin or Harbaugh before I did Holmgren, but
Okay.
like, he's
I'm trying
got
to think about coaches who were like all over the place, like guys like.
Oh, how about
I
Marty
know-
Schottenheimer?
That's. I was thinking a guy like that, like a Marty Schottenheimer, who's been with like 8 different teams.
I think he's on there.
Is that your guess?
John, you
Yeah,
have to give it the okay.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Number 9, Marty Schottenheimer.
Sweated that one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, you think Cower or Tomlin are on this list?
My gosh, you gonna say that again?
I think
I'm out of other names. Like, I'm
Yes.
thinking guys.
Really?
No, I have other names, but like,
You
I'm
guys
just
haven't even got
going-
the number 1 guy. How do you not have the number 1 guy?
we're horrible at knowing things, Jason. We're trying our best here. Gosh. Let's
what about
see.
Shanahan?
Mike Shanahan?
Yeah, I don't know if he's been coaching.
He was in Denver for a while. I don't know. He was not that long. He didn't have the longevity.
Yeah.
We got to think older, probably, right, Jason? Are we not thinking old enough?
There is older.
How about the Dolphins
older.
coach that won the 70?
Shula.
Don Shula. He's
Yeah,
got
Don
Yes,
Shula.
that would be number 1 of the all-time winningest coach in the history of the NFL. Congratulations, guys.
We did it. I don't think Dick could coach long enough. I don't know.
No, he didn't. He was only there for like
Yeah.
5 or 6 years in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
Who?
So you guys have
is John
go ahead.
John Madden is not on this list, is he? I don't think he coached long enough.
Possible. He did coach for a while. Which of the Steelers guys do you like better? I'm gonna let you guess. Do you like Tomlin or do you like Cower better?
I like Cower better. I think he was well, but I don't know.
I'll let you decide.
I don't know. I'm not going to make that decision. I would go with Cower, but Tomlin has been there longer, I think, than Cower was. I think Cower was like in the early mid '80s, and he was done by 04.
So you're not picking.
You think
the
Curly
one-
Lambeau? We didn't guess Curly Lambeau.
We can guess him. I like him.
Yeah, dude, Curly Lambeau.
Curly Lambeau is number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to see your hands, you cheater. Church hands. Spirit fingers.
So what do we have left, Jason?
You have you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 7. You need 8, and you need 10. So 3.
I think one of those Steelers guys is 10. I think it's. Tomlin for sure has won at least 8 games for how many seasons is that? 18. That's only.
Yeah.
That's only 100. That's not even that many, actually.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Math sucks. I'm a gym teacher. Give me a break here, people.
What about a guy just throwing a name out there? What about a guy like Denny Green? He was around a long time with a lot of different teams.
Well, I know he had a stint with the Vikings and was he an Arizona Cardinal? Wasn't he?
He was Arizona Cardinals. Remember?
How about what about the Bills guy, Marv Levy?
Marv Levy could be. Yeah, that's a good guess. I would roll with that. Or Hugh Grant from the Vikings. Hugh Grant was with the Vikings in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. for like a long time.
I mean,
You got to remember though, the NFL wasn't in the early 50s. Like there was still.
yeah, it's true. All right, John. What do you want to guess?
I don't.
We're too
I'll go with
indecisive.
Go with Hugh Grant from the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't even know who the hell
I
you're
think
talking
Jason
about.
was shying. Don't guess that. Jason was shying away from that. Did you not hear him trying to steer you? Are you not listening?
No. I lost hearing for a second.
All right. Let's
Who
guess.
else? I'm trying.
What about
What about,
Madden? How long do you think Madden was playing? Do you think Madden had
He
longevity?
wasn't coaching long enough, I don't think.
Well, then we got to go Cowher or Tomlin. Pick one.
What about Marchabroda? What about Ted Marchabroda? He was head coach of the Colts, and then he was like a head coach of the Browns, and he was a head coach of the Ravens. He was around a long time.
This has got to be riveting radio right now.
Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous.
Are we missing like an obvious person?
You're missing 3 obvious people. Well, two in my.
Have we mentioned anybody who might be on the list?
You have actually.
Okay. So Tomlin and Cowher. Say Tomlin and Cowher, both of them.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think, Mike?
Go.
Both of them. Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher.
Both of them?
Yes.
So that's 2 different guesses.
It seems that way.
Yes.
They are both incorrect. Both incorrect. Tomlin is the next closest one, and he's the closest active guy with 191 wins.
Wow. That's it.
But he is number 12.
How about Marv Levy?
Marv Levy is not it. No, Marv Levy is not in there. You guys have already done your X's, so I'll give you a couple clues here. The other is a Steelers head coach, John, that you've mentioned, but yet did not say. You did not officially guess him. Yes.
Oh, Chuck Noll.
I thought we guessed.
We guessed Chuck Noll.
No,
we didn't.
You didn't guess him. You talked about guessing him.
Oh, we definitely guessed Chuck Noll.
We guessed him. No, we guessed Chuck Noll. We did.
Okay, well,
for sure.
If that's the case, you're still missing 2 people.
Okay. We still suck, but we don't suck as bad as we thought.
As badly. It makes me feel better.
Okay.
It's a
the
consolation.
Other guy has a stadium named after him.
Paul Brown.
Ralph Wilson?
Correct, Mike.
Oh, Paul Brown.
And the last guy coached for the Giants. He coached for the Falcons. He went to the Super Bowl with them.
What was the last
I believe he also coached for the Broncos.
What did you say? He went to the Super Bowl with what?
The Falcons.
Reeves.
Dan Reeves. Yes, that's a good
Dan
one.
Reeves.
He's number 10. So Don Shula is number 1. Bill Belichick, George Halas, Andy Reid, Tom Landry, Curly Lambeau, Paul Brown, Chuck Noll, Marty Schottenheimer, and then Dan Reeves. And again, the next closest active head coach with 191 is Tomlin.
Where's Harbaugh?
Tomlin? I don't know. I don't. It doesn't go that far from the list I was looking at.
Gotcha.
But
I'm going to look it up.
Please do. All right. Well, that was fantastic, fellas. Good job. I mean, that was similar. What you doing there, John? Going to be Dad Bod Sports Jeopardy.
Yeah, I threw this together at the last minute, so I hope
185. Harbaugh has 185.
Oh, okay. So Harbaugh could work himself very close to that this year with some playoff wins and some other things. All right. John, you are hosting this week Dad Bod Sports Jeopardy because you got curb stomped last week. So this week it'll be Mike and I. So whenever you're ready, you take over.
All right. So tonight's categories: Maryland-born athletes, brotherly love, Ravens firsts.
This ought to be great since they're so good when he has like days to put them together. So that he had like 72 minutes to put it together. It's going to be even better.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be terrific. All right. I will go for 100. I will go with Maryland-born.
Maryland-born. This basketball Hall of Famer from Towson starred at Syracuse before being drafted by the... Yes, Mike.
Carmelo Anthony.
That is correct.
He's in the Hall of Fame? Did you say Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I don't think
Yep.
he is he?
Yeah, he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I didn't think he'd been
Basketball
done
Hall of
playing
Fame,
long enough.
You don't have to. It's not an NBA.
You mean the? Oh my gosh, I got a question already. NCAA Hall of Fame or the NBA Hall of
Yes.
Fame?
There's no NBA.
He
Hall
just
of
said
Fame.
yes.
Oh,
No,
great.
it's just
Okay.
It's about
John.
Hold on.
John, what was the third category? Brotherly love and what?
Brotherly love. Ravens first.
Ravens first.
Yes, Carmelo Anthony was elected to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2025.
Yeah, but the Naismith, that's for
That is
college.
the basketball. There's only a basketball Hall of Fame. There's
Yeah.
not a
I thought there was
college or
also.
an NBA.
Wait, I thought there was another one too, though.
Nope, it's in Springfield, Mass. I've been there. It's just
That's
a
the home
basketball
of basketball.
Okay. Go ahead,
Jason,
John.
don't
Go
question
ahead,
me.
Mike.
I guess we'll do Maryland-born athletes for 500.
This Tigers right fielder never played a day in the minors.
Jason.
Mike.
Al
Oh,
Kaline.
that's bull crap.
Oh, yes, that is correct. Al Kaline.
Oh, that's crap, John. I was definitely set up first.
Okay, you want to finish the category, Mike?
100.
Which one?
Let's try Ravens first.
Ravens first for 100. This UCLA star was the Ravens' first ever draft pick.
Jason.
Yes.
John Ogden.
Yes, sir.
Wait, was that other category the Maryland athletes for 1,000? We didn't clear that,
Yes.
did we? Okay.
No, we did not.
Okay, let's do that.
Do that one. This Baltimore-born player played in the NFL and MLB. He played for the Falcons, Cardinals,
Jason.
Braves. Yes.
Jason. Brian
Yes,
Jordan.
Jason.
Jordan.
Brian
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will do Ravens first for 500.
This longtime NFL coach won the Ravens' first game.
Jason.
Mike.
Jason.
Ted Marshabrota.
Yes.
That's garbage, but whatever.
That's what I said last time.
Yeah.
Wait till
Well, now
I
we're
listen to
even
this.
then, I guess.
We're gonna listen to this tomorrow. You watch.
You
All right.
finish the category, Jason?
Yes, please.
This Raven scored the first touchdown in franchise history on a 9-yard run.
Jason.
Yes.
Vinny Testaverde.
Yes. That is correct.
All right. So real quick before we do the last category, Mike has 600 and Jason has 2,600. All right, John. We'll do brotherly love for 100.
This quote unquote juiced family had one Bash brother and one who played 25 career MLB games.
Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Canseco's.
Yes, sir.
500.
This sports family from Amherst, New York, has sons who played in the NFL and MLB, including a multi-time Super Bowl winner. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, any guesses?
Oh. No.
Kowski's.
Who? I'm sorry.
Yes.
The Gronkowskis?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Older brother played for the Diamondbacks. All right. So to finish that category out, these linebackers starred at the University of Maryland before both being
Jason.
drafted by Yes.
The Hendersons.
Yes. That is correct.
I knew all these answers. I'm just saying.
Mike goes, ah.
I knew it.
You can hear the wind coming out
Because
of
you
his
had already
head.
said it. You said, and I was like, whatever.
All right.
Stupid.
So for
I
final
finally knew
Jeopardy-
the answers to some questions tonight, and you had me against Jason instead of John.
I made them fairly easy tonight because I only had
Yeah, I
like a
know.
couple minutes to put it together.
Well, I think we only missed the one, Jason, between the two
I
of
know.
us.
The Gronk.
I
Yeah, you
had
guys
no
just
idea
missed the
about the
Gronkowskis.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
Mike has 700 and Jason has 3,600.
Okay, this one might be a little
Go
difficult.
big or go
but
home, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Camden Yards beginnings. Camden Yards beginnings. You ready?
I'm ready.
On April 6th, 1992, this Cleveland Indians player hit the first home run in Camden Yards history. All right. So, Mike, because you are as you are trailing, we'll go to you first. Do you have an answer?
I do, but I'm not sure that this player even played on the Cleveland Indians at that point, which are now the Guardians. I had Paul Sorrento.
And that is correct.
Oh, sweet.
I
How
also
much did you wager?
I
I
wagered
also had Paul Sorrento.
700.
Oh, you both got it correct, and Jason still won.
You know the funny
2,000.
thing. The funny thing, John, is that I have no memory of except for that name for some reason. Like that's stuck in my head. I don't even remember when.
I don't know.
Yep,
Well,
I
that
remember.
wasn't too bad. Those weren't too bad of questions, Jason, were they?
No, John, well done. Well done.
Just because you
I would
don't know
just-
your NBA Hall of Famers doesn't mean that I don't.
I would have got
moral-
that question right. I didn't realize he was in the Hall of Fame.
The moral of the story is don't give John time to think. Because when John has time to think, things get all effed up. So there you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was hoping we were going to have a guest tonight, and I was going to have them play with us. But then I was terrified of John's questioning. So I was like, "Oh no, this could go really bad."
But my
No,
questions are
well
all
done, though.
good.
You
They're
did
just
good.
difficult. And so,
I mean,
Jason,
sometimes you make them too you get too cute with them. Sometimes it's better to just lead with gusto.
yeah.
All right.
I have
speaking
bad
of that-
news. I have bad news concerning the Orioles.
Oh,
Who's
They are
hurt?
losing now 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth.
oh no,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
But
All right. Well, Mike, unless you guys have anything else, Mike, why don't you lead us to the promised land?
Oh, I wanted to say one thing. You texted us. We texted the other day about this. How dumb is it that people are putting death threats out there to Orioles pitchers and their families?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's absolute just horse manure.
well,
Yep, it's not good.
people hide behind social media, and even more so than that, it's just having being a good human being. Like,
Right.
in what world we are watching baseball and we are watching football because this is the world of entertainment. These guys go out there and do their best, and they have families to feed, and they're entertaining us. It is not the place of someone who is watching these games to even think to do something like that. It's ridiculous. I am just I don't have the words for it. Like, threaten someone's family. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Like, having to worry about the safety of your wife and your kids is something that nobody should have to do. And the public figures that are put out there today have to worry about that all the time, which is ridiculous.
Well, and not defending this at all because it was probably the dumbest, craziest, and most horrible thing I've seen was like when the brawl with the Pistons and the was it the Pacers?
Pacers, right?
Where
Ron
went
Artest.
they went into the stands. But like, guys, like, again, not defending that, but like there's only so much that they're human beings still like can take. And like you're throwing stuff and like pushing players and you can never put your hands on a player. I mean, it's like that. I saw that clip of a fan yelling at, like, said some pretty crappy things to Anthony Rendon. I mean, he can't grab the guy, but he did. He like shoved him like a fan behind home plate. He's like, you called me, like, called him a derogatory name. And he went there and he's like, yeah, man, like whatever. And he like pushed him. Again, not the right thing to do, but like, at what point did we think that all this stuff was right? Just because you buy a ticket doesn't mean that you can act like a total jackass. And if you're hiding behind a keyboard and you're going to say these type of things, like to people and threat, like making death threats, like that's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
John, can you just tell everybody what you're talking about too, as far as what happened?
Yeah, he gave up. I don't know. They gave up some. I don't even remember what game this was from or what day it was from. We talked about it, and Povich gave up a lead, and then the Orioles lost, and then someone sent his wife a message on I believe it was Instagram, and they were just basically giving them death threats as to,
Well,
you blew this
actually,
game.
what he said was he was going to rape his wife.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It was pretty messed up. I'm sure you can find the quote.
I'm looking
He
for
said
it.
some pretty crappy things. But again, like the level of total wrong there, Mike, I mean, I can't. I don't really need to keep talking about it because I just don't know what else I can say other than how.
Because when you talk about it, you give the guy time of day, and it's
Right.
just not even worth it at this point. But
Grow up.
Yeah, let these guys be human beings and leave them the hell alone.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm going to wrap the episode up, John. If you find something out that you want to add, you can interrupt my read here. Thanks for joining us this evening for Dadbots, Crab Cakes, and Sports. We had a good time hanging out with you all. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're at it, please leave us a review. 5 stars. It helps us out. We're trying to spread the good news of Baltimore sports, Ravens, Orioles, Terps, far and wide. Be sure to follow us on social media. We got our big fantasy football draft coming up tomorrow. Leave us a line at dadbods_crabcakes_sports on Instagram, or at dadbods crabcakes and sports on our Facebook page, or send us an email at dadgodcrabcakesandsports@gmail.com. And you never know, we could just shout you out on our next episode. But until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, chowing down on those crab cakes, and never miss a game.
Adios.
See you next time.